Hello and welcome to Always Bored, Never Boring. This weekend I received my pre-order for Joe Manganiello's The Crypt of Perpetual Darkness, the latest expansion for Avalon Hill's HeroQuest. I've been really looking forward to this one. It's a little bit different than previous expansions and has a unique aesthetic that makes it stand out in a way that has certainly been divisive among fans. I am sure most people watching this video will know that when Avalon Hill jump-started the return of HeroQuest through a crowdfunding campaign, they onboarded actor and D&D fan Joe Manganiello to create a quest pack that was offered as a stretch goal. Even though the campaign didn't raise enough money to unlock that quest pack, Avalon Hill did eventually make it and send it to backers anyway. Since then, fans who missed out on the crowdfunding campaign have been hoping that there would be a retail release of the expansion. And after years of speculation, here it is. It's had a bit of spit and polish, a few new components, and some notable component upgrades. And finally, everyone has a chance to own it. And whatever my final thoughts on the expansion may be, I am very happy to see it made available to everyone in this way. I have to say, I absolutely love this cover art. The dragon is one of the best pieces of artwork for modern HeroQuest to date, capturing more of the feel of the classic game system that was brought to life by the work of Les Edwards and Gary Chalk. And for this release, the art has been given a foil finish. The back of the box says, "Save your homeland from the forces of dread, enjoy 10 quests created by Joe Manganiello." The contents list includes, besides the quest book, a metallic black dragon miniature, 8 black dice, 1 pad of character sheets, 20 foil embellished cards, and 2 punch boards. That's not a bad haul. The dice and the character sheets are a welcome addition to add a bit more bang for your buck. But I admit I don't think the value proposition is as strong here as it has been with other offerings. I paid full retail price, which is $27.99 in the UK. For around £10 more, you could get the First Light core set or a big expansion like Frozen Horror. That said, I don't think this expansion is bad value. There is a decent amount of stuff in the box. It's just that it feels like it has been pitched as more of a premium collectible from a celebrity designer with a price that reflects that. In previous videos I have already talked quite extensively about Joe Manganiello's The Crypt of Perpetual Darkness, but now I have it in hand, I wanted to quickly run through everything in the box once again. I may be repeating myself a bit here, but I am going to add in as many new insights and ideas as I can to try to keep things interesting. And in a future video, I will be doing one of my quest deep dives. Of course, one of the big draws with this expansion is our new Dragon Venom. I really like this miniature. It's one of my favourites from the whole modern HeroQuest range, and a marked improvement over the dragon from First Light. It only stands on a single space, and it is slightly top heavy, but it's sturdy enough in use that it isn't going to fall over all the time. Despite the small base, the dragon still has a good sense of scale. It feels huge. It's bulkier than the First Light dragon, and it stands significantly taller, at approximately 95mm compared to 75mm. The sculpt is also cleverly designed to get wider at the top, which means other models can stand right next to it comfortably, and you can see how fearsomely intimidating the dragon is as heroes stand in the shadow of its mighty wings. Do note, the insert holds the dragon miniature far too tightly. It's a real struggle to get it in and out, and I would recommend either adjusting the insert or finding an alternative storage solution, especially if you are going to paint your dragon, which, by the way, is one of my favourite Lee Marvin movies. Also included in the box is a rubbery grey ring. The idea with this is you can clip it onto the bottom of a miniature to identify it as being a grey enemy. But I think it has a few other uses. When affixed to the dragon, you get a slightly wider, heavier base, which is going to help reduce any wobble during gameplay. But also, you can use this grey base to identify boss monsters that you don't have a unique sculpt for. For example, old school players will remember that in the original HeroQuest core game, there was an orc with an oversized sword that could be used to represent orc warlords. With no such miniature in the new edition, you can use this grey clip base to mark out your bosses on the battlefield. Next up we have our new cards, 20 in total, all foiled. There are 17 that are full art comic cards with beautiful illustrations by the illustrator Max Dunbar. As my good friend said when he saw them, these go hard. I think they're stunning, and I think they would look awesome framed for display. Obviously, these cards are not in keeping with the traditional HeroQuest aesthetic. They are something very bold and different, which is by intent. I am okay with that. I see these as collectibles. And while I wouldn't like to see this style incorporated into every expansion, indeed I don't think we will ever see this style in expansions again, and while I would be the first to admit the font they have chosen isn't very readable, as a one-off, I think they're lovely. They have been made following the rule of cool. That said, I know a lot of people are not fans. There are people who will refuse to use these cards in their games, and I can see why that is. Fortunately, that does seem to have been considered when the expansion was designed. Firstly, all of these cards are alchemy, artifact, and equipment cards. None of them need to be shuffled into existing card decks, and once you have found the items on your quests, you can use the cards as references to make notes on your character sheet before putting the cards back in the box. Furthermore, of the 17 comic art cards, 14 of them exist in other expansions where they are available with the standard formatting. There are 6 potion alchemy cards that are available in Rise of the Dreadmoon: Speed, Battle, Defense, Restoration, Dexterity, and Healing. There is 1 alchemy card from Keller's Keep, the Venom Antidote. Unfortunately, the Keller's Keep version has the equipment deck backing rather than the alchemy one. Nevertheless, the Venom Antidote is a pretty weak item and very specific. As I mentioned in a previous video, I would be inclined to swap it out for a healing potion that restores 2 body points. There are also 3 equipment cards, all of which are available in the core set: the Battle Axe, the Crossbow, and the Holy Water. And then there are 4 artifact cards that are also available in other sets. The Ring of Return is available from the core set. The Magical Throwing Dagger is in Keller's Keep and Return of the Witchlord. The Tempest Scroll is also available in Keller's Keep, and the Lightning Bolt spell scroll is in Prophecy of Telor. The final 3 art cards are for brand new artifacts that aren't available in other retail expansions: the Crown of Shadows, the Dragon Spear, and the Oil of Acid Immunity. However, for these you also get 3 duplicate cards that use the artwork and formatting that is consistent with the rest of the game system. Yes, they are still foiled, but they don't need to be mixed into decks with other cards, so that is less of an issue. While the new cards aren't to everyone's tastes, I think most people will appreciate the next inclusion: new dice. A matching set of 6 combat dice and 2 movement dice. They come in black with white symbols and pips. As the resident Zargon, I have already claimed these. They look great. There is also a new character pad in the same art style as the cards, with the skulls of Venom's fallen enemies littering the border. It's not a big pad, 25 sheets in total, but they are very pretty. Honestly, I will probably never use them. I have so many sheets already from 2 core sets and Frozen Horror. I could play HeroQuest for years on end and probably never run out. Incidentally, at some point I would like Avalon Hill to make some character sheets that are more of a nod to the original sheet design, with a space to draw a coat of arms. That would be fun. There is only 1 new overlay in this expansion, and I know I've moaned about this before, but heck, I'll moan again. Overlays are such a cool way to mix up the dungeons, add unique locations, or even just provide set dressing to make locations feel different from each other. No expansion since Frozen Horror has made proper use of the concept, and I would love to see more overlays in future expansions. Nevertheless, this is a good one. On one side we have the tavern, which looks rather nice. Perhaps a touch cramped, and the furniture is slightly out of scale, but I could see my heroes having a drink there. On the reverse, we have the Dragon's Lair with Acid Pit and Altar. The runic script on the floor is for decoration only, but already I am thinking of ways they could be used. Imagine they are pressure pads. During the course of the quest, the heroes will find clues to which pads they should stand on to drain the acid pit. Or maybe some spaces are trapped, but they can find out which rooms are safe. There is also a punchboard of tokens. These are double-sided, but praise be, they are the same front and back. Tokens that serve double duty with different icons on each side are a flipping nuisance, pun intended, and far too common in the HeroQuest game system. Here we are getting 6 Dread Skulls. These are traps that make ranged attacks with 2 dice each turn until they are destroyed. There are 6 grasping vine traps. Heroes standing in such a trap must roll a combat dice. On a black or white shield they dodge, on a skull they suffer 1 body point of damage and their turn ends. Vines can be destroyed by the trapped hero or an adjacent hero. Destroying the vines costs the hero's action for the turn. Finally, there are 12 acid pool traps. Heroes who step on a pool trap roll 1 dice and will take 1 body point of damage if they roll a skull. These traps cannot be disarmed, but heroes can jump them. The final part of the expansion is the 10-part quest written by Joe Manganiello. This quest starts with the hero's hometown being overrun by orcs and goblins. The forces of Dread have taken the city and the heroes are keeping a low profile, operating out of a secret hideout. In the local tavern, a gnome tells the heroes he has a map to the location of an ancient weapon, but just as he hands it over, he is killed by arriving goblins and a bar fight ensues. And that is all I can tell you for now, until I make my deep dive video. But I will just say I rather like this setup. Obviously, this city is not really the hero's home. They all come from different parts of the world, but it is the place they call home for now, and it has been invaded. Bringing the enemy to their front door adds personal stakes and also immediately throws them into a dangerous situation. And starting a quest in a tavern is just classic. There are 2 things that do stand out as being a bit disappointing. Firstly, Mission 1 has a very cool piece of artwork. It's the sign of the tavern, the Rat and Candle. This is a lovely addition to the quest book, and it's a shame there is no other artwork like it in the remaining quests. Admittedly, most of the pages don't have the space for this kind of flourish, but there are at least 2 or 3 quests where there would have been room. The other thing that immediately stood out is that Mentor isn't mentioned anywhere. I've grown fond of his introductions, and the way he sets up each mission or psychically connects with the heroes while they are away. But here, he's completely absent. That seems odd to me, and it does give the whole questline a strange angle. It just doesn't feel like part of the same world as the other adventures. At the very least, I think Mentor could have turned up in the introduction to tell the heroes it was too dangerous for him to appear to them while Dread forces were in the city, and this time they're on their own. But I think I will leave it there for now. While I can't speak to the quality of the campaign itself, I have heard mixed reviews about it, overall I am happy with this expansion. I love the new dragon miniature, and I think the cards are beautiful, although I think there should have been an enemy card for the dragon included. The tile overlay looks useful, and I am very happy to have a set of black dice. I think there was room in the box for a new hero, or maybe the alt-gender versions of the core heroes. That would have made this expansion more desirable, but even as it is, I think this will be a nice set for collectors with some fun new gameplay elements and accessories. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because that is it from me for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please consider pressing the like button. If you really like this video, please consider subscribing if you don't already do so, and hopefully, I will see you all again very soon. Bye bye everyone. Bye bye.